This is my 2011 Range Rover Vogue 4.4 TDV8, and this is the story of its first big European tour. So our journey began here, where we're based near the green fields of Athenry, and we headed around 280 kilometres down to the very southeast tip of Ireland to Rosslare Harbour, where we boarded our 17-hour overnight ferry to the port of Cherbourg in France. Once we got to Cherbourg, we were on a mission to get down to Geneva for the wedding of one of my best mates. We made an overnight stop at this municipal campsite near Ligny-le-Châtel before storming down the French autoroutes to Geneva itself, and this is where we pick you up. Hello guys, and welcome back to another slightly different episode of Sam's Motor and Machine. Hello guys, so we're just on our second day here in Switzerland. Well, we're not actually in Switzerland, we're in France at the moment, but we're somewhere near Geneva. And we're just heading into Geneva right now, hopefully to a park and ride, because Geneva itself is pretty bad for driving and parking, etc. But we'll see, we might end up parking in the town, we'll see. We're just going in for dinner with one of our friends, and then we're going to be going to his wedding tomorrow. So as I say, we're not filming too much at this stage, we're just kind of enjoying our holiday a little bit, but as we move up France again later this week, and we're going to be going to see Ben's garage, we're going to be doing a lot more filming then. So yeah, but suffice to say, so far we've done really well. About 1,250 kilometres done so far since we left Galway. About 1,000 of that has been done in France. So yeah, so I'll pick you up when we get out of Geneva. Okay, so we're about an hour and a half maybe outside of Geneva. We've just come up towards the Alps on the French side, and we're about halfway up an Alp, as you can see. We're about 1,200 metres elevation right now, and Rangie's been doing really well. She's come up all these really windy, steep roads, pulling really hard. She's obviously pretty heavily laden, so it's quite hard work for the old girl, but she's doing well so far. Now we're on one of these forest tracks, which looks very tempting to drive up, but it does say on the sign back there it's only for forest vehicles, so we're going to be going on foot. We're just going to have a bit of a walk, see how far we get before our legs give out. So we've been walking for about 20 minutes, and it turns out that being at a little bit of altitude is actually pretty hard work for people that live pretty much close to sea level. Yeah, we're probably about 1,400 meters here, and it feels like your lungs are on fire when you're trying to go anywhere. So we went up a bit, and now we're going to head back down again. Behind us in the pickup truck.
Les Anglais.
Les Anglais. À la fois rageux. Defender.
Oh, lovely. Sad. I thought it was the code. All Land Rovers must wave to each other.
Apparently not for in a Range Rover. You're too snooty.
Where have we been? What have we done?
Where have we been? What have we done?
Yeah.
We drove up a little bit of an Alp and then drove back down again. So we've got to get to a wedding, and we're just about going to be on time, hopefully.
I was going to say, you are in a different shirt to wear this, so
yes.
Definitely got me changed.
Yeah, so we've changed just quickly up in the mountain while there's nobody about, and we're going to go and head over to Geneva, the centre of the city, and go and see my mate get married. So yeah, happy days. Should just see Geneva coming to you soon.
Yeah.
So once we got down into Geneva, we just about managed to get parked up in time to see my best mate get married, and suffice to say, it was just a beautiful day. The weather was nigh on perfect, 23, 24 degrees, sunshine, and beautiful scenery in and around Geneva here. The water you can see in the background there is Lac Limousin, or Lake Geneva, and later that evening we had a delicious meal all together at a restaurant on its shore. It was just brilliant. But while Geneva was extremely pleasant, almost painfully so, we found it wasn't really our sort of place, so as brilliant as it was to experience it, we were quite glad to head back out into the more bucolic French countryside.
Goodness, where's Vegas?
And despite being loaded up probably to well over 3 tons with all of our gear, the TDV8 had absolutely no trouble pulling up these long, steep hills at high altitude.
Goodness, look at that.
Jesus.
Our next stopping off point was in the beautiful alpine town of Chamonix, another place that we'd never been to, and while we were here we stumbled across the téléphérique, or the cable car as we know it in English, which took us from around 1,000 metres elevation in Chamonix up to about 3,842 metres at the terrace of the Aiguille de Midi, on the side of Mont Blanc, the highest peak in Western Europe.
Well, not since when you're traveling at sea.
Jesus. This is our stop. It's a roller coaster. It goes slow, doesn't it?
Our L322 has done an absolutely sterling job of bringing us to these fantastic destinations, but it wouldn't have been possible to do that without lots of prior prep and, crucially, maintenance. Maintaining my L322 has been made massively easier and cheaper since I discovered AUTODOC, who are once again sponsoring this video, and I just want to take a minute to show you why you should be using them too. If we load up the AUTODOC app here, all you have to do is pop in your reg number and it will only show you parts and accessories that fit your specific car. Once you've done that, you'll see there's a huge range of options to choose from for pretty much any part. For example, here on the P38, if I head into brake calipers, you'll see it asks me which caliper I need, front, rear, left or right, and then once I've selected that, it will give me specific parts to suit. Another thing I love about the AUTODOC app is this video section. These are generic tutorial videos, but they're actually really handy and quick to get to the point, like this EGR cleaning one here. So go try out the app and don't forget you can use the code SAM to get 5% off your order. Right, back to Mont Blanc.
Hi guys, another slightly unusual check-in with Sam's motoring machine. I'm currently halfway up Mont Blanc, as you can see there. We just drove the Range Rover this morning up to Chamonix from down where we were closer to Geneva, and we're going to be looking for a campsite just down there somewhere in Chamonix, or just outside it, somewhere nestled away nicely in the mountains, and we might stay another night or two here before heading over across to Limoges to go and see Mr. Ben. So yeah, all in all, having a very good time.
Before we started to head across the country to see Ben though, we thought we'd tick off another item off the list and head for the Mont Blanc Tunnel. This gargantuan tunnel is 11.6 kilometres or 7.2 miles long and passes directly under the peak of Mont Blanc, at which point there's around 4 kilometres of rock above you. Pretty cool. The far side of the tunnel emerged in a slightly rainy northern Italy, marking off another country on the L322's and my visited countries list. From here we headed through Courmayeur with the intention of taking the Little St Bernard Pass through the Aosta Valley into the Savoy region of France before heading back towards the more central region of France. This was a seriously windy and steep bit of road, which was probably the best bit of road I'd ever driven, at least on a par with the Transfăgărășan road in Romania that I drove a few years back. The Rangy absolutely loved it.
Enjoying the hairpins.
Crazy, yeah. What does 6 degrees mean? 6 degree turn.
Well, the other,
6.
well, the one down there was 7, so it might be telling you there's 6 left.
Is it the angle of the road?
It may well be.
Video protected.
As well as copious hairpin bends, this road yielded stunning views and amazing tunnels. And just as we were enjoying the ecstasy at the thought of crossing into Italy and driving back in our Range Rover over the famous St Bernard Pass,
Oh, shit.
Bernard Pass closed.
we were about 2 weeks too early for the summer opening of the pass. Blast. The next crossing over point to take us in the direction of our desired destination would have taken us as far south as Turin, which we just didn't have time for on this trip. So somewhat regretfully, we headed back north through the €54 Mont Blanc Tunnel and headed towards a campsite in the foothills of the Alps. X-Lifter has levelled us out very nicely. Dropped it down on this corner and extended us up on the back corner. Perfect. Hello again guys, and you join us back here again. Where are we?
We are in France. What do you mean, where are we?
More specifically,
Oh, more specifically, let me have a look.
not too far from Chamonix, about what was it, about an hour's drive from Chamonix?
About 40 minutes. It's in Plaz-sur-Arly.
There we go, Plaz-sur-Arly. Arles. Is it? A-R-L-E-S.
A-R-L-Y.
Yeah. There. Anyway. And we found a very lovely campsite. A lovely view in front. It's a little bit wet at the moment, a little bit damp. It's irishing a bit on top of us, but we're not too put out because we've got our awning, and the tent is nice and dry up top as well. So
nice and cozy.
We're nice and cozy. We just had our dinner, and we are just basically relaxing and chilling now for the next few hours before bed.
Yeah. I mean, we did spend €110 today to travel 23 kilometres through a tunnel.
We did go to Italy today for about an hour.
We did. We got halfway up a road. It was wibbly wobbly, and then apparently it's closed.
Yeah, the road's closed.
We had to come all the way back down.
So yeah, basically we went through the Mont Blanc tunnel, which is, some of you guys might know, is like a 11-kilometre long tunnel directly underneath Mont Blanc, which takes you directly into Italy. So we went into Italy, and then we found what we thought would be a lovely route across the, I guess, the Southern Alps, back into France, because we're going to start heading towards Ben's garage. Wound our way up a very windy, backwards and forwards, double back track road for about an hour, and then got halfway up and then realised the road was closed. So we went into a roadblock. We had to come back, and unfortunately the tunnel is €55 each way, so that was a bit of an expensive mistake. Yeah, we could have stayed in Italy, and we could have gone down towards Turin or something like that on the motorway, but we thought we probably won't have enough time to properly do that. We don't want to do too much more driving than we have to, so
we won't get to appreciate it fully if we have to
yeah.
do a whistle stop tour.
So we had a quick look at the Italian side of the Alps, and then we headed back through the tunnel, and then came back down here through Chamonix, and then about an hour outside here where we are now. But it's very, very pleasant, so there's nothing to be complained about.
No, lovely views of the mountains.
Yeah. So yeah, just going to chill, and then tomorrow we're going to start heading towards Ben. It's about a 6.5 hour drive from here to get to Ben, so we're probably going to do about 3 or 4 tomorrow and end up somewhere near Clermont-Ferrand, which is an area that I know quite well. Find a campsite there, and then we will probably see Ben on Thursday. So yeah, anyway, cheers with my Belgian beer. Widescreen 4K?
Of course.
Didn't think of this lark.
I mean, I was doing 1 times 4K on my phone.
Little paddles on the gear shift paddles are coming in very handy on these windy roads. Allow me to do a good bit of engine braking and save the brakes. So we're coming down a long way at the moment.
This is quite a long tunnel.
It is, yeah. A few Ks.
Not the 11 Ks of yesterday.
No, that was bad. That was really bad. Never experienced anything like that. That's the tunnel Mont Blanc. For anybody wondering. Oh, it's raining on this side.
So after another couple of hours of French autoroute cruising, we drew closer to a small mountain town in the Puy-de-Dôme region of France called Mont Dore.
There's a fair view that way, isn't it?
Stunning, yeah.
This was a genuine trip down memory lane for me, as I was lucky enough as a youngster to have parents who owned a small holiday cottage here in this small ski resort town.
This is the bit I really remember. Getting to Mont Dore Road, this is like the nearby bit to Mont Dore.
Is it? What was it like coming down here?
I haven't mentioned it on the channel until now, but my dad passed away earlier this year after a short battle with cancer, and so this was a particularly emotional part of the trip for me. Driving these beautiful winding roads in a Range Rover, a car which I love mainly because of my dad's own love of these cars rubbing off on me over the years, and seeing all of these sights again after more than 10 years really brought back a lot of happy memories for me.
But yeah, you didn't have tools to fix the motorway, you had tools to do the house up in front.
Let's see.
Ladders and, bags of...
It's amazing how, as a car lover, a vehicle or a road can connect you to the past and bring back such strong memories and emotions. My dad never owned an L322, but he had many P38s, and a particularly lovely late Range Rover Classic 3.9 V8 in gold, which was the car that started my passion for these cars. His weapon of choice for our French holiday trips was either his early 90s Volvo 940 Estate, or later his brand new Hilux double cab, which was absolutely awesome in the snow of Mont Dore during winter.
What do you reckon young you would be saying to current you?
Range Rover with a big roof tent and stuff on top. I loved it. It's like the Gary.
As we drew closer to Mont Dore, the memories of dozens of family holidays were brought back to life for me. However, my emotions gradually turned to joy as we approached the house itself.
I remember it getting very narrow.
Yeah, it's very steep in there, yeah.
Because it's up there, isn't it?
Yep. This is a really sharp corner, which I think we used to have to do a shunt in.
I think you'd have to do a shunt in this,
Yeah.
darling.
I think we're now there.
This is rather narrow.
Jumping up to the house.
Absolutely.
God, it's so narrow, isn't it? I forgot how small it was.
Video
It's the
protected.
house. It's lovely.
Oh man, it looks way nice. They've done it up since
Grand
last time we
Cascade.
were here. Grand Cascade waterfall.
It's all buttoned up like it's still a holiday home.
Yeah,
It looks so small, everything up here. Narrow. Let's just get out and take some pictures.
absolutely.
Dad renovated the house more or less by himself with the help of my mum and the assistance of my brother and I, and it's still looking great to this day.
Just woken up, guys, in beautiful Mont Dore. We decided last night that we would stay in a little apartment in there because it was pretty bad rain yesterday, most of the day, and as you guys know, camping just isn't much fun when it's bad weather, when it's raining. The tent actually held up fine when it rained the night before. It didn't get wet inside at all, and the awning was perfect as well. But we just fancied a little bit of comfort and a chance to wash all of our clothes as well. So I managed to do a load of laundry in there as well, which is great. Have a nice shower. So yeah, great start to the day. Well, Mont Dore is a little bit special to me. Holds a bit of a special place in my heart because when I was a kid, basically we came here on holidays for about 10 or 15 years. It's basically a little ski resort, like a mini Alps type ski resort, and it's obviously surrounded by beautiful mountains. We've got the Puy de Sancy up there, which is hidden behind that cloud at the moment. Just over there, in another cloud, is a Capucin, which is another place you can go and hike up in the summer. And obviously it's middle of May right now, and it's only 4 degrees here at the moment, so it's a pretty cold place when it's not in the middle of summer, where it's actually pretty hot. They have some good summers. Yeah, so it's probably only just stopped being snowy here within the last 4 weeks, I'd say. So yeah, very nice.
Once we'd had another look around the town, we headed 5 minutes up the road to the resort itself at the base of La Sancy.
So just come up to the top of the, well not at the top, but at the base of the Puy de Sancy, which is that guy up there, which looks now, in comparison to Mont Blanc, absolutely tiny. I remember it being huge as a kid. This is the teleferique, which will take you up basically in a cable car all the way to the top. You can see that little station at the top there. Very cute. And yeah, it's obviously off season here at the moment. This is a ski resort, so there's a few workmen around building all sorts of fun things for the kids. There's a bit of a slide down there, but otherwise it's pretty quiet. So yeah, quite interesting to see how it's changed in the last 15 years. Some kind of a strange tunnel that's been built over there. Not entirely sure what that is. It could be a luge or something, perhaps. Yeah, very, very peaceful and nice up here.
Of course, we had to take a ride up the teleferique to the top of La Sancy, which at 1866 metres at the peak is a good 800 metres taller than Snowdon or Carrantoo Hill, which are the two highest mountains in the UK and Ireland respectively. So yeah, although I was making fun of it compared with Mont Blanc, it's still pretty impressive in its own right.
Love the look at the rocks, amazing, aren't they?
Right.
Just so jagged. I used to love this bit as a kid, going past all the rocks. Building looks very old now, doesn't it?
Once we got to the top teleferique station, we hiked about 20 minutes to the very peak of Puy de Sancy itself, and although it was a bit cloudy, it was still a pretty stunning vista at the top. I could easily have spent another week or two in and around Le Mont d'Or, but we just didn't have time for it on this trip. We've decided though that we'll be definitely coming back soon, perhaps in the snow this winter for some skiing. Watch this space on that one. But happily, it was now time for us to hit the autoroutes once again and head towards a certain YouTuber's base in the gorgeous countryside of the Haute Vienne.
That's beautiful.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? Can we move to the Limousin, please? I like it down here. Oh, look at the bull! Oh,
Huge.
isn't he a beautiful boy?
Love these buildings. Right, it says it's just here, but it could be.
Keep going up a bit.
Further along.
You recognise it?
I do recognise it.
Oh, there's a hedgehog. jog.
That's. I think it's just over this hill.
Okay, keep going down.
That's Ben's garage. There's the Rangy. Oh my God, we're here.
Video protected.
Where should we go?
I think that house.
The house is there. But where do we park?
That is a question. Made it!
Look at that. We're actually at Ben's garage. It is mad.
Video protected.
There's Tina. Exciting.
I'm excited right now.
Hello. Bonjour.
Hi!
Nice
That's
to meet
really
you.
confused him. Another one.
Where's that come from?
Come on, you. Oh, they've got
Yeah,
dogs!
he's gonna be happy.
Oh my god!
Ludo, I think that's called. That doggo.
Beautiful. Yeah, you get.
So weird to actually be here.
So as you guys will hopefully have seen already on Ben's garage, we spent a few days here with Ben, Tina, Ludo and Kira at their amazing small farm. All I can say is that as good as Ben's videography is, it still doesn't do justice to how beautiful and peaceful their local area is. The combination of beautiful pastoral surroundings and delightful villages and farmsteads So as you may have seen on Ben's channel, we got in a lovely bit of laning just locally around the Mad Dog farm. The lanes here are absolutely incredible in their beauty, their variety and in their abundance. This is truly Green Lane heaven.
That was a nice, quick, easy job. We're about 5 minutes away. There's a little garage, the Hippo there, meaning the Green Hippo garage. Just a general garage, but the guy there managed to just plug the tyre really quickly for us. Checked it with a spray bottle of soap and water, and it's all good. 15 euros. So yeah, same price as it is in Ireland apparently. So yeah, 2 days. So yeah, we did a good bit of laning just then. It was great fun. I mean, it really reminded me of why I used to love laning so much. The Rangy, as you guys saw, took it completely in its stride. Even some of those bits that Ben wasn't quite expecting to be quite as steep as they were, you just walked up it basically, no trouble at all. And yeah, so nice to be able to just hit a few buttons down here and go back into road mode after you've done your off-roading. So yeah, proper armchair off-roading experience. So we'll head back to Ben's site, we're gonna have some dinner, and then we might go out again tomorrow and do a bit more laning. We've also got some work to do on Ben's Rangy as well. We're going to try and get the ZF 6HP serviced as well. Ben's got a service kit. Obviously, being in a wheelchair, it's a little bit difficult for him to be rolling around underneath, changing the oil pan and things like that and topping it up. So we're going to help him out with that. And then, yeah, so we might do a bit more laning, and then we're going to head off on Sunday and start heading up back towards Calais. So yeah, all in all, having a great weekend.
As I mentioned there, we got Ben's 6HP transmission in his 3.6 TDV8 Range serviced while I was there, and Ben has done a great video on this full process, so head over there to watch that after this video. However, all good things must come to an end, and after a few days at the Mad Dog Farm, it was time for us to head onward and northward towards Calais, where we'd be getting a ferry to Dover to visit some family and friends in the UK.
Hey guys, so we're at probably our second to last campsite here in France. Our ferry is in 2 days' time, and we've come pretty much about less than an hour away from Calais where we are right now. We found a very nice little campsite. So yeah, we left Ben and Tina's earlier today after staying with them for a couple of days. We had an absolutely brilliant time. Absolutely amazing food, Ben and Tina. Fantastic cooks. Both of us are completely stuffed still from all the amazing food that they've been cooking us. And yeah, we had a good bit of fun with the Range Rovers, as you guys will see in the videos. And we went off-roading, and we went round their garden as well, doing a bit of drone flying and through the woods in their land. So yeah, great fun. Managed to help Ben out with his TDV8 as well. Got the gearbox service for him, which he's very happy with. So yeah, great times all round we had. So yeah, we're just having a little beer at the moment, relaxing, the last bit of sunshine, and tomorrow we've got the whole day tomorrow basically in northern France, so we might go around, and I would like to go and see a few World War II or World War One areas of interest in northern France, which there are quite a lot. What do you think about that?
There's quite a few of them. We should go.
Yeah, so we might do that tomorrow, and then we've got basically the whole day, and then ferry early on Tuesday morning back to Dover, where we're going to go and see my mum. So yeah, happy days. I'll sign off for tonight, but yeah, catch you guys probably tomorrow.
One of the places we stopped off during our day in northern France was this, the Thiepval Memorial to the Missing of the Somme. Whilst I've been to lots of memorials and museums in northern France over the years, this was our first time here, and it was truly monumental, both in its scale and its impact on you as you approach it. Each of the huge stones at its base is covered with the names of 72,000 missing British and South African servicemen who died in the Battle of the Somme, and behind it stand the gravestones of both British and French soldiers. This area of northern France is covered in memorials and historic sites relating to the First World War, and it always humbles me to remember and learn more every time I visit. And that is pretty much a wrap on our Euro Tour 2024. I've been keen to get back onto the continent in my own 4x4 for a long time, and this trip certainly didn't disappoint. 3,842 miles covered in utter comfort in the L322, and I literally can't think of another vehicle that I rather would have taken on the trip. It was perfect. This trip has really reawoken my desire for 4x4 born adventures, which have been severely lacking in my life since our 2015 Morocco adventure, which you can also find on the channel if you go back far enough. So much so, in fact, that since returning to Ireland we've already been on a couple of mini adventures here with our roof tent and e-bikes, and we're hoping to do a lot more this year and share our travels with all of you.
Bicycle film, cinematographer. Hurt a little bit.
I'm not surprised, you did go flying.
I landed on the grass down here, but yeah, don't crash into sheep.
As you can see, that's going absolutely great for us so far. So yeah, my advice is basically just to load up your car, whatever you've got, and get out and enjoy it. Touring and camping is truly a great way to see and enjoy a country, and for us at least, it's the best way. Anyway, thanks for watching guys, please remember to hit subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Cheers!